We are approaching Halloween. We are getting very close to Halloween. And that's what today's episode is about. Hello, everybody. I'm Jason Grandon with the GRANDON GROUP, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team right here in beautiful, still hot in Maricopa County, Arizona, but Prescott, Flagstaff, Sedona, beautiful. Loving it. Well, here we are. We are middle of October. We are less than 2 weeks out from Halloween, and it is still crazy out there. So this week alone, I've had literally 3, maybe 4 people send it. It was like it was the same exact email, but it was all different people talking about how they are going to wait until the market changes because prices are just too high. Well, guess what, people? Arizona's not changing. I think, there's parts of the country that are in a bubble and stuff, but we are doing great here. Interest rates are higher, so yes, things have slowed down a little bit, but the prices have not dropped like everyone thinks, nor are they going to. As we get in closer to Halloween, you're going to find that Arizona is a spot from October through April. It's a hot spot. We got people from all over the world coming in here. This town is packed. Restaurants are full. Freeways are full. It takes forever to get around town. And so people are buying stuff. Yes, it's cost a little bit more money, but again, we do figure if you can ride this out for anywhere from, let's just say, 6 months to maybe 15 months, if you can ride out a higher interest rate and then refinance in that amount of time, you are golden. You're going to make a lot of money. So, yes, we're in the middle of high interest rates, but the housing market has not crashed. In fact, the rental prices are still high and people are still moving. So, you know what? Don't listen to the media and all the scare tactics they give you, because the fact of the matter is that every area has a different personality. Every area offers something different. And Arizona, for example, is just crazy. Flagstaff, Prescott, Sedona, you can't hang on to a house there. If it's priced right, it's gone. In fact, we priced one the other day, only one in Stetson Hills came up. They wanted a T.W. Lewis house. We put it on the market. And we put it on coming soon. So the only people that could see it were other realtors. Gone. Multiple offers in a matter of couple hours. So anyways, that's where we're at on the Arizona market. If you're thinking about buying a house, do not wait. Get qualified. Ride that higher interest rate out for a little bit. In fact, let us get you a buy down with some of our great lenders. Ride it out for 2 years. You'll have a lower payment with the 2-in-1 buy down. Ride it out for 2 years, then refinance it to a 30-year fixed when the rates come down, probably after election season. We kind of thought going into election season that we might see the rates go down. I'm not 100% sure that's going to happen. We were thinking maybe March, April. They'll drop maybe into the 6s or something. We were hoping the 5s, but I think after the election we might see 4 to 5 again. I don't think we're going to see 2 or 3, but we'll certainly see 5s, which is going to give you a lot of money. If you're at an 8% right now and you can drop it down to 5, you're going to make some money on these houses. So, since we're going into Halloween, I wanted to share some haunted experiences with you. Everyone talks about haunted houses and stuff like that. And, some people just do not believe it. And I'm sure I'm going to get a couple emails after this saying, why would you talk about that? I don't believe in ghosts. I don't do this or that, which is fine. So I got to tell you guys a story. And this is a 100% truth. So, and this happened probably, I don't know, I want to say 15 years ago, maybe 16 years ago. So, I'm only 4 or 5 years into real estate at that point. And I remember this as clear as day because it was over in not Arrowhead, but it was over in like 7th Street and Thunderbird area, which is kind of it's a golf course area, really nice area, by the way. So, anyways, I've got this client, and they are looking for a house, and it's probably, I don't know. I think it may have been January. No, yeah, it was January, February. It may have been November. Either way. This is a little frightening experience. So anyway, so it was at the point where 6 o'clock is pitch dark. So let's just say November. Anyways, so the guy's like, hey, I got to see these houses. I got to get something wrapped up. So pull up 4 or 5 houses, and we find this really, really great one just off of 7th Street and Thunderbird. Beautiful house. So anyways, I remember it was dark, had the lights on my car. Now, here, let me just preface this real quick. when people list a house, when agents take a listing, the owners are supposed to keep the lights on and the electric and stuff like that. That way, when realtors come by, it's on there. It's a safety thing. Plus, it's also a rule. So, anyway, so it's about 6:30. It's pitch dark out by now. I pull up to this house, and I'm like, darn it, lights are off. You can't see that, you can sometimes see the little light on the doorbell, and you know that the electric's on. So, anyway, so I'm like, darn it, the electric's not on this house. The agent didn't leave it on. So, anyways, I walk up to the door. I go get my lockbox key out and get the lockbox out of the box on the side of the house. I go up to the door, and you can tell the electric was off. Just no doubt about it. It was off. So I look inside the window, and I'm like, wait a second. It looked like there was a light. It looked like somebody had like a lawn chair kind of in the kitchen area reading newspapers, like, the Republic or something like that, one of those types of papers, and a light was on. Or it looked like the light was on, I should say. So I'm like, oh, but none of the other lights were working in the house. So anyways, turn on the flashlight. We enter the house. Now, the minute we enter the house, and again, this is a great area, folks. This is 7th Street in Thunderbird, very high-end area. You've got the golf course over there. It's a very good area. So we go in the house. The minute we walk in the house, you can just, you have that sense. You have this very heavy feeling in the air. You can just feel it kind of just weighing down on you, and you're like, wow, this is just weird. You go over to the kitchen where that light was on, and sure enough, there were some newspapers there, and it looked like somebody had just scattered and left. I'm totally freaking. I mean, literally, you could feel that someone was just there, they scattered and left, maybe went out another door, but there was no doors open except the front door that we just opened. So, cautiously, we look around, we notice no one's in the house, but it felt like someone was there. We go through the kitchen, we go through a couple of the bedrooms, we make our way down the hallway over to the master. Oh, and again, the time of year, this was summertime, and I'll tell you why I know that, because it was hot outside, and it was probably closer to 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So, anyways, either way, it was pitch dark, it was hot outside, and we go into the master bedroom, and because the rest of the house was hot, we go into the master bedroom, and it was absolutely freezing. Not air conditioned, turned down freezing. And remember, the electric's off. It was freezing. I'm talking icebox freezing. And it just had this it had like a weird smell to it, a misty type smell. And it was cold and heavy. And we're like, wow, this is too freaky. Even the client was a little freaked out by this. And he didn't believe in ghosts. So anyways, we finish up the house tour. We go to the side of the house. He goes, I want to see the air conditioning. I got to see what's going on. Now, again, the electric's off. We go over to the side of the house, on the east side of the house, and we got the flashlights looking at the air condition, which looked like they were brand new. And then behind us, the neighbor comes out of the dark. And this was totally scary because we didn't see him or hear him. And he's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, showing my business card and showing the realtor, showing the house. And so, anyways, we get talking to him, and we're like, we told him what was going on in the house, about how it felt like somebody was in there, how the master bedroom, not the rest of the house, but just the master, was freezing cold. And so that he's looking at us, and he's got this strange look on his face, and I'm like, you know what? What's going on? And he goes, well, I don't want to, scare anyone off or anything, but, there were some strange things that happened in the house. So we keep talking to him about it, and finally, like, hey, you got to let us know what's going on with this house. He goes, well, there was a double murder in the house not too long ago. And I'm like, wow. And so apparently a couple brothers or something like that got in an argument and shot each other, and they died in the house. And he said, so since then, some other people moved in, but ever since they moved in, they've had to change the air conditioning units twice in a matter of a year and a half, 2 years. They've had to change it twice because the master bedroom where the murders took place are freezing. So they put on new units, and it just freezes up, and they can't seem to fix it. And same thing. He said there's always a heavy feeling around the house. He feels like the people that were killed still live there. And the master is kind of an area where, the incident happened, but they're still there. Folks, freaky story. Really scary. So, anyways, needless to say, my client didn't want the house. I know a couple months went by and the house was still available. So I don't know what's happened to it today and stuff. But that was that's my experience with a haunted house. And I'm telling you, I never really kind of believed in that. But when I went in that house, there was no way you could not believe, between the heaviness you could feel, the smells that were in there, and the freezing cold master bedroom. But anyways, so I hope you kind of like that true haunted experience that we've had in the real estate industry. And there's others out there. We've had other agents. I mean, down in Tucson, true story. We had an agent literally lose her head. Apparently, she showed a house to somebody who was like kind of a serial killer, and so killed her in an open house. So one of the things as a realtor when we do open houses, this is not like it's a safe job, but you got to take precautions. You got to know who you're dealing with, and there's always people out there wanting to do stuff. But with Halloween coming up, we figured might as well give you guys a good story, something to talk about. Anyways, and then, we've had stories where I had this other house. This house wasn't necessarily haunted, but she had she had 2 litters of puppies. There were 14 puppies in there, and this lady didn't feed them or anything, and they were just scattered out over the house, obviously dead. And that house that was a meth house, ended up being a meth house, and that house took nearly 6 months to fix up, to get fixed. And then, a lot of people don't want to have that, know what's going on in the house, so they don't want to move in there. So it takes a while just to kind of clear it out, and there's different ways to do that to change the whole feeling. And so anyways, there is some crazy stuff, but with Halloween coming up, it gets a little extra spooky when we talk about it. All right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed that story. Back to the Arizona real estate. Listen, it's we're not changing here. We're going into an election season. We've got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people. Like I tell everybody, you are buying a house one way or the other. You're either buying it for your landlord, that means you're paying rent right now, probably a ridiculous amount of rent on top of that, or you're buying a house and you own it yourself. And listen, not everybody needs to get their 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 5,000 square foot home on the first round. Put your money into real estate. All right? Make sure, don't overpay. Make sure you get an agent that knows how to really be aggressive and get those prices down. But hey, get the buy down rate. A $300,000 house, if you get $9,000 in concessions, which would be a 3% towards closing costs and concessions, you can buy your rate down from 7.25 down a little bit more. It's going to lower your payment. It's going to let you ride it out for a couple of years with a lower payment. First year will be really good. Second year will be mediocre. Third year is back to normal. But we are counting by then. Numbers are going to be great, and you're going to make money on the house. That $300,000 house that you think you're waiting on to buy today is going to be $400,000 tomorrow when interest rates change. Mark my words on it. It's a great time to buy right now. Get aggressive. You don't necessarily need the first house you look at, but make some different offers and stuff. And look at numbers and talk to the realtors that understand, that have been through these different kinds of market, how this works. So if those of you, again, that are waiting for the market to drop so you can get that $1 million house for $500,000, not going to happen. But you can get that $500,000 house that's going to be $600,000 very quickly when the market changes. So listen, if you need more haunted house stories, reach out to me. The GRANDON Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. We handle Arizona. And my sister's up in Prescott, Flagstaff. Our new office opens in Prescott here November 1st. And as we get into the holidays, we are doing some really fun stuff. We're hosting a charity food drive on December 2nd. Bring some food, and I will give you a free ticket to see a national touring act artist, Grace Graber. She'll be performing live in Scottsdale here. So reach out to me, get free tickets for it. Bring me a can of food, and I'll give you free tickets. Or if you know somebody who's less fortunate, maybe has mental illness, suicide thoughts, or has been involved or knows about human trafficking, we were giving those people free tickets. It's really important for the next few months, and all through the year, but specifically just because it's the holidays, for the next few months, that if you can, give to the community. It's really, really important, and that's what we plan on doing. We want parents that have kids that normally can't go out because everything is so flippin' expensive. We want to make sure they get tickets to these shows so they can go. It's a season of giving, and thanks to you, you have made GRANDON Group one of the top teams in the country and Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team. Listen, you guys have a great week of October here. We will be back next week. We've got some great stuff to talk about. If you have any ideas, this is your show. So reach out to the GRANDON Group reach us online, call us, text us, whatever you want, and we will get you taken care of. Again, thanks for checking out the Grandon Group and our newest episode of the Lockbox. I'm Jason Grandon, Arizona's #1 brother and sister team. You guys have a great week, great Halloween. Get that house decorated. Halloween parties are coming up. Actually, next week we'll kind of dabble on that. I think we talked about it a little bit last year. But you know how much fun it is to have a Halloween party when you own a home? You put some dry ice in the pool, it gets all foggy, you got all your decorations, it's a blast. My house is decked out. In fact, you go to our Facebook page and you'll be able to see some of the fun stuff going on for fall. Jason Grandon here with the Grandon Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister team. We look forward to talking to you. Thanks again, everybody.